Hey there, how are you doing? Team Nokia Power here, and we welcome you all to yet another interesting video of Nokia 7 Plus running the latest Android 9 Pie beta. In the last video, we demoed the new changes, major new changes and features that Android 9 Pie brings over the Android Oreo. And we not only demoed that, we also shared our preliminary or the first impressions of the Android 9 Pie beta on Nokia 7 Plus. So in this video, what we will do, we will share other major changes that we have shared in the first video. So one of them is the digital well-being. So digital well-being was not available at the time when we have created the first video. So in this video we will share the demo of the digital well-being. We will also take you through few of the special tips and tricks of Android 9 Pie, which we were not able to share in the last video. Apart from that, we will just talk about the performance of Android 9 Pie on Nokia 7 Plus, and finally we'll talk about the battery life as well after playing with Android 9 Pie beta for several days. So if we start with the digital well-being. So digital well-being is one of the highlight features which for which you need to actually install an app. So you need to install the digital wellbeing app, like it's a beta app, and you have to install it from the Google Play Store. But on Nokia 7 Plus there is one issue where you would not, even if you install it from here, Google Play Store, there are chances that you would not able to see that in settings. So what you need to do is to download the APK from our site. So we have provided the download link in the article. So here you can see this digital wellbeing beta. So how you can do it? So like if you either if you go to the Play Store and this digital wellbeing beta, then you have to actually opt in. You have to join the beta. But as I said, there are chances that you will still would not be able to see it. So you need to download the APK and install. So once you have downloaded the APK and install, you may need to restart once. And once you have done that, you would be able to see the digital well-being here in the settings after accessibility. So what this app actually, or like what the feature actually does is it tries to strike or let you know to strike a balance between how much you use your mobile phone and how much you spend on your life. So it's like a digital life and your normal life kind of balanced app. So here it shows that how much time you have devoted on doing all these things: Twitter, Edge, Chrome, phone, YouTube, WhatsApp, etc., etc. And there are special features here, or like dashboard. So if you go to the dashboard, you'll see what apps you have actually spent your digital time, screen time, while playing with your phone. Then there is something called wind down. So what it will do is actually, if you set it, so it can do grayscale, it can switch on the don't do not disturb, and it called also, if you turn on it, then night light is also available here as a setting. So if you use wind down, so you can actually set a time from where to where it will turn on the grayscale. It will also turn on the do not disturb settings, and you can also play with the nightlight setting here. So it's like a period which you can actually define in which you want to stay calm or you don't want to use it much, kind of. So you don't want to be disturbed by notifications, etc. So you can use this setting. Now there are other things like reduction of interruptions. So you can actually control the app notifications, and as you can notice, the digital well-being feature actually goes to all the apps where you can go and actually control whether you want the notifications from the apps or not. Do not disturb is another, it's very enhanced under the digital well-being feature. So if you see now, the do not disturb has got these many settings. Earlier these many settings were not there. Okay, I think the brightness is a bit more, so now you should be able to see it better. So digital well-being has got enhanced do not disturb. So you have behavior exceptions schedule. So you can manually turn it down, or you can actually depend upon the wind down feature as we saw. So wind down, here from the wind down you can define when we want to turn it on, and it will turn it on do not disturb, grayscale, etc., etc. So here if we go to the do not disturb, as I was talking about, there are these three settings: so sound and vibration, in the behavior. So what you want to do actually when do not disturb is turned on, what you don't want to listen to, the sounds is off, alarms and media is on, you can control it. Notification, you can Actually, again, you can customize it, which notification you want to see when the screen is off, etc., etc. So all the settings. Apart from that, you can set exceptions. So even your wind down is on, do not disturb is on, you want calls from contacts, you can allow them. You can allow repeat callers. So this kind of setting you can do. So like when even if there is like this wind down is on and the do not disturb is on, if you want to take an important call, you can do that by using exceptions. Same for messages, event or reminders. So I mean it depends upon how you want to customize it. Then the schedule is how till what time or for how long you want this wind down do not disturb to be switched on. So if you until turn off for 1 hour, ask every time. You have three options. Then there are different rules of that you can set: sleeping, event, find down, etc., etc. So if I say add rule, I can choose event. I can choose one event and set here. These are the rules for setting the do not disturb. So basically digital well-being is like a digital well-being is a set of features or group of features by Google that tries to make your like life less stress. Make your life less stress free. uh, it wants you to spend more time on your real life than the digital life. So that is why it gives you these many features. So as I told you, that digital well-being once switched on actually connects deeply to the apps and notification. So for example, if I go to apps, so let's say if I go to one of this app, so you see the time spent in app. So it directly takes you to this digital well-being, where you can actually see the graph of how much time you actually spent on this app. So I am not using anything, so it tells me this. Here there is timer, so you can actually set a custom timer. Then you can also control the notifications. So basically, once you have switched on or activated or installed digital well-being, it will get connected automatically to all the apps, and it can control and give you peace of mind of like a particular time period where you really want to rest. Okay. Now coming to other small features that I really did not mention while creating the first video. So this is very important, and I am really impressed with this. So uh, if you actually now it while selecting the test, so as you can see this magnification. Okay, so this was one feature which was already always available on iOS but not on Android. So let's say if you want to select something, a particular a particular letter in these two words. So let's say I want to select this H. So now it will magnify. Earlier it does not used to be like this. So now it magnifies and it shows. So this is a good feature, actually quite useful. And obviously it's kind of borrowed from iOS, but okay. Anyways, it's here and it's good. Then there are more emojis. The new emoji collection is here, and you would find many new emojis which you can actually use. Okay, so I was zoomed in. So now you can see the emojis here. Actually, several new emojis come with Android 9 Pie. The whole new palette actually comes. So basically, the collection is refreshed. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about digital well-being, enhanced do not disturb. We talked about the text magnification. We talked about new emoji. Then there is one more thing actually. The notifications are well enhanced. So there is, we talked about the smart reply, and I think that we would not be able to show it to you because we don't have any notification as such. But I wanted to show one new thing. Just a sec. Okay. So, as I said that currently I don't have a notification, but I have this screenshot which I can show it to you. So now, if you, I mean, kind of keep on dismissing one of kind of notification. So let's say I'm keep on dismissing the notification from Google Play Store. So it will now ask me where you want to show the notifications. So it will ask keep showing or stop notification. So this is a new feature. So if you keep on dismissing a particular kind of notification, it will actually ask you whether you really want to show those kind of notification, you want to dismiss them, you can do that. So this is one more thing that I wanted to show it to you. Now coming to the performance. So Android 9 Pie has proved, like especially this beta 4 build has proved to be quite stable for me. uh, if we talk about like gaming and other performance intensive tasks, it works quite well for me. So far there are like no major issues like games crashing or like reboots, etc., freezing, etc. So in that case I think that this beta is quite good actually. If you compare to the other like beta 3, etc., those are not as stable as this beta. So basically games resume very well from the background. Usually I have three games open in the background and I can play with them, and I see that those are like pretty stable. So, in a nutshell, performance-wise, the latest beta build, Android 9 Pie Beta 4 on Nokia 7 Plus is quite good. Actually, this is, I think, the last beta build which Google had shared with, developer preview enrollers. So, it was the last beta build before Google finally released Android 9 Pie. So, we will have to see whether HMD does the same, and next build is the stable one. But I really think that still there are few things which really need some refresh. I talked about multitasking, and while the multitasking looks good, actually, it is still not as good as it used to be on Oreo, frankly speaking. So while I mean, there may be the reason may be that not all apps and games are like tailored for the Android Pie, because they were made for Android audio, so they may need bit of tailoring. So there you face a bit of issue. So multitasking is where I want to see more smoothness, more efficiency. Coming to the battery life, I wanted to share that battery life has really improved in beta 4, and as you can now notice here, so I just wanted to show you something. So like this is 62%, and the screen usage time it shows is like 3 hours 2 minutes. So if you do a proportional calculation, so it is, I mean, giving me a on-screen time of like 6:30 to 7 hours, 6 or 30 minutes, so 7 hours on average for last few days, which I consider to be really, really good. So with beta 4, battery life has improved, performance is good, but as I said, it is still not on par with Oreo. The smoothness is not still on par with the Oreo. And then we demoed the digital well-being and other important features and new changes that and one night brings. So hope you have liked this video. Stay tuned for more as we bring more of Android 9 Pie on different various like Nokia devices. Thanks for watching.